All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, and you know what day that is. It is time for more One Punch Man. We're going to be reading through Volume 2 of One Punch Man, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to another One Punch Man read-through. We're going to be reading through, like I said, through Volume 2 of One Punch Man, so let's go ahead and get started. And the last volume of Jujutsu Kaisen that I needed, Volume 7, just arrived before I started. So now I have all available volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen on my shelf right now. It feels good that I don't have to go hunting after them anymore. Still need to work on the Demon Slayer series and get the volumes for those. But Jujutsu Kaisen, I am fully up to date with all available volumes, including the most recent one, and that includes One Punch Man as well, so I am pretty much set for every read-through for every week until I completely catch up with both series at the same time. Let's go ahead and get started with Volume 2. Volume 2, okay, so it has Saitama, it has Genos, it has the Eye of the Beast King, and Armored Gorilla in the background. Volume 2, The Secret of Strength. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 chapters and then a bonus chapter at the end. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Volume 2, The Secret to Strength. Punch 9, House of Evolution. And then we get some narration. Long ago, there was a young genius scientist. He directed his immense intellect towards making numerous contributions around the world. But the world disappointed him. People praised the genius of his mind, but rejected the idea that obsessed him. Instead of developing human civilization, his one dream was the artificial evolution of the human species, but no one would cooperate. And then it cuts to this guy, I guess back then, with him saying, those monkeys! They say it's dangerous. They call me a crank. Do they think the human race made it this far by avoiding risk? Cretins who think they don't need to evolve have no right to pass on their genes. Anyway, this plan is for me. If I have to do it, I'll do it alone. Then we get more narration. Even as a child, human imperfection dismayed him. Everyone around him looked like stupid animals. This pained him. He was 15 when he thought of his plan for evolving the human race, to create a world where he could feel at home. After he turned 70, his plan accelerated. First, he regained his youth. So, he found out a way to reverse the aging process on himself, and regressed himself. Then he created clones of himself. Together, they performed countless animal experiments before moving on to human subjects. He called their laboratory the House of Evolution, and their experiments gave birth to many new species. And then apparently this is Armored Gorilla who's been saying this, and then Saitama says, cut the crap, it's got nothing to do with me, just give me the main points. And then Geno says, Master is busy. Shorten that to 20 words or less. And then Armored Every single time I do a stream. Pardon me. But Armored Gorilla was the one. Ain't no way. Four times? Really? But apparently it was Armored Gorilla who's giving this narration. Then Armored Gorilla says, sorry, so, in other words, our boss is interested in your body. And then Saitama says, sorry, but I'm not into dudes. And then Geno says, that is not what he meant, Master. He plans to use your superhuman physiology for his research and evolution. If we let him go, he will send more assassins. And then we get narration saying, I have heard rumors of the House of Evolution before. I heard it was a cult preaching the coming of a new world. But judging from you and the Mosquito Girl, it is involved in something more dangerous. We cannot allow them to run free, so next time we must initiate the attack. And then Saitama says, "Thank you, Light Ruler. I don't know what happened there. 4 sneezes in a row? I mean, I did go outside to take out Kenzo, but yeah, it was probably me going outside. But hello, Light Ruler." But Saitama says, "Yeah, let's go." "All right, let's, huh? Right now?" "Yeah, tomorrow's bargain day, so I can't go then." The dude is like, "Let's go take on this dude now because I'm trying to shop tomorrow. We can't wait until tomorrow because that's bargain day." When you strong, the most mundane things are more concerning than the most dangerous of things. I know that from watching the first 2 seasons of this anime, of this series, when it was during the anime. Then it goes to Armor Gorilla as Genos follows behind Saitama. And then Armor Gorilla's head pops open for an attendant to pop up, and he thinks, "Uh-oh, I'd better report to the And then Genos says, "Hey, you, go, yes." Genos says, "A few final questions. Was the House of Evolution active with cyborg development around 4 years ago? How many of you are there? In the past, did you destroy many towns?" Then the Armor Gorilla says, "I don't know, but I'm the House of Evolution's only combat cyborg." And then Genos doesn't say anything. Then it cuts to the House of Evolution with the main scientist saying, "Impossible! Kamakuri, Sluggerus, Frogman, Ground Dragon, Armor Gorilla, and even the Beast King. They wiped out my elite force for exterminating the stagnant human race." And then the clones are saying, "According to Armor Gorilla's transmission, they're coming to attack. They could destroy all of the fruits of our research. This is serious." And this is like many clones saying all this, so, I'm not changing the voice for them. Then the head guy says, "Using our trump card is the only choice. Prepare to unleash Carnage Kabuto." And then all of the clones get immediately scared and they say, "What? No, we mustn't!" "But it is the only way." "But calm down," says the head guy. "It is only a last resort. With luck, the traps on floors 1 through 8 will stop them. I know what will become of me if we fail." 4 hours later. And then I can't tell. I think this is Genos saying, "I did not think we would run the whole way." And then Saitama says, "Is there another way?" And then Genos says, "I thought perhaps you could fly." "Humans can't fly." "It's impressive that you still always arrive on time." "You are a true hero." "No, I'm actually always late." "We have arrived at the place mentioned by the gorilla." And both Genos and Saitama stand at the House of Evolution with him saying, "This is the House of Evolution." And then, before any other words are said, Genos crouches down, charges up energy, and then destroys the entire building in front of Saitama without a moment's hesitation. I really want a One Punch Man game that isn't a fighting game, where you just do this sort of thing, either as a Muso game or as an action, adventure, or RPG type game, because I would love to play that. So from the next page, from a distance, it shows the flash of the explosion that Genos set off, and the smoke clearing from the spot. You can see it from the mountains. So that's how big the blast was. And as the dust settles, Saitama's looking over at Genos nervously like, "What gives, man?" And Genos says, "What? I thought this was the most efficient way to dispose of them." Sure, but they must have made preparations. That was mean of you." And then, after all is said and done, Saitama sees a metal door in the ground and just peels it open. This man just takes this seemingly heavy metal-plated door and just peels it like a thin sardine can. Sardines. I might need to get me a can. I haven't had sardines in a very long time. I would dare say years. But he just peels it. He just casually peels this thick metal door apart, and he just says, "Huh? It leads underground, and they both go underground. And then it has one of the clones in a tunnel, and he's saying, "Stop!" as he's shooting at something, and something launches a fist towards it, and then the inner torso of this clone just completely obliterates. Like, his torso explodes in the center, and his insides go flying out in different directions behind him. And we just see the clone in a splattered mess a distance away from this fist. And then we see this large creature standing amidst a bunch of clone bodies. And then we have the head honcho coming in to talk to this thing, saying, "Hello, Carnage Kabuto. Have you been well?" So this is Carnage Kabuto. And then the head guy says, "You killed a lot of my clones again. Feel better now?" And then we see the face of Carnage Kabuto, and the dude is just, this thing is just massive. And he just looks at the head honcho and he just says, "Huh? You fool. Of course I don't feel better. I am the House of Evolution's greatest weapon, but you locked me in here beneath the earth. You are psychologically unstable. We couldn't control you, so it was necessary." Control? You idiot. I am the perfection of your new humanity. In physical traits and intelligence, I far surpass the old human race. So you should take orders from me. Then the head honcho is thinking, "No, you are a failure. Indeed, your capabilities are overwhelming, but you lack refinement." I had to double check and make sure that my mic was on. Sometimes that scares me. But he says, "Kill me if you want. There are more where I came from. But listen to me for a second." And then he shows a hologram, a screen hologram, showing Saitama and Genos, with him saying, "There's someone I need to get as a sample, but he's horribly strong. Only you can beat him. Get him for me, dead or alive." And that's the end of Punch 9. Onwards to Punch 10. I need to double check and make sure that those security tabs are not in any of these pages. I don't think they are. Oh, nope, I was wrong. I forget that in the past, Barnes & Noble used to put these sticky tabs into pages. Sticky security tabs into pages. They don't do them now, but I forget that they're in there. But that was the end of Punch 9. Onwards to Punch 10, Modern Art. And then it cuts to Saitama and Genos walking through the underground, with Saitama saying, "This underground base sure is spacious. I'm getting excited." And then Genos says, "I'm picking up life forms ahead. All the same? All the same? Are they clones?" And then Genos notices something, and he says, "Master, 2 life forms are headed this way." And as we look down the tunnel, we see Carnage Kabuto flying at them at high speeds. And Saitama looks in that direction, and then it has Carnage Kabuto saying, "Oh, there they are. There are 2. Which one is it?" And he's having the head honcho in his grip, like a forceful grip, enough to draw blood, because that's how heavy and how callous he's holding him. And he says, "On the right." "Then you don't need the one on the left." And Kabuto looks at Genos and then just sideswipes him directly into a wall, while he's also dropping the head honcho guy at the same time. And then Saitama looks at where Genos was and he says, "Genos!" And Carnage Kabuto stops as we see Genos embedded in the wall, like his head is embedded in the wall like this. And Saitama says, "What the? Hey." And then Carnage Kabuto says, "I am Carnage Kabuto, and I've got a battle test room. Let's fight there." And then Saitama says, "You hung up Genos like modern art. Fight's on." And then Carnage Kabuto smiles as they're in this massive room now, and he says, "Big, ain't it? It's the biggest place in the facility. This is where we test to see who's fit for battle. Let the killing begin." And before Kabuto can do anything, he's engulfed in fire, and he looks in the direction of the door they came in to see Genos, who's still up, having blasted him. With Kabuto saying, "Are you still alive?" And then Genos moves at high speed. Such high speed, like zigzagging across the area, because this is the double panel here. Zigzagging in different spots in order for him to kind of try and punch at Kabuto. And Kabuto says, "Hey, whoa." And then he looks in right where Genos is about to be, and he says, "Idiot." And Genos punches with machine gun blows. And it's just quite a few panels of Genos punching Carnage Kabuto. But Kabuto ignores all of this while this barrage is going and hits Genos one time with enough force to kind of dislodge his left eye from his face and kind of destroy a good portion of his face as well. And then it shows Saitama, it shows Carnage Kabuto, and then it shows Genos bouncing from the ground all the way up into the air, and Saitama catching him, with Genos coughing up a little bit of smoke, with Carnage Kabuto saying, "You lose." And then Saitama is looking at Genos' face saying, "Your face is broken!" And Genos is trying to talk, but nothing's coming out. And then Saitama says, "Don't push yourself." And Genos gathers up more energy and he blasts in the direction of Carnage Kabuto, which Kabuto then just breathes in, like he just sucks it up like Kirby. And then blasts it back at Saitama and Genos with Genos saying, "He repelled it with his breath? Impossible." Oh no, he didn't do that. He sucked in air and then it just blew in the direction of the blast and then just completely repelled it. "He repelled it with his breath? Impossible." With Saitama saying, "Genos, are you okay?" And as the blast got blasted back into Genos, it kind of furrowed Genos' hair. With Genos saying, "Yes." And then Saitama says, "No, that head is not right." And then it has Carnage Kabuto saying, and Saitama saying, "Why you? Now I'm looking forward to this." Then it has the head honcho walking down the corridor with him huffing and puffing because, he got damaged on his way to Saitama when Kabuto was dragging him along. And then Kabuto, he comes up to the room with Kabuto saying, "Is that so? Then bring it on. Give me all you got." And then it cuts to the head honcho thinking, a narration from him going, "The worst demon ever created by the House of Evolution is Carnage Kabuto. Show me how a member of the human race in its current form fights against a monster that is the ultimate form of artificial evolution." And then we get a highly detailed panel of Saitama walking towards Carnage Kabuto. Angular angles, muscle definition, not that simplistic look he's always rocking in these panels. He's in that mood to cause some destruction. "Oh, I know. You're supposed to be strong." And then Saitama comes up to him and says, "Don't disappoint me, you hear? You're this place's ultimate weapon, right? You're clearly different from those guys this morning. You're positively brimming with confidence." And then it shows Kabuto dashing from in front of Saitama so fast that even Genos says, "He's fast," and appearing right behind Saitama. But then it just cuts to darkness and Saitama's face. And Kabuto stopping and immediately jumping back from Saitama. Because Kabuto was about to come in and punch Saitama. But the presence that Saitama gave off, it made him stop and leap back in defense. And the head honcho thinks and says, "Did he just run away?" And then Saitama is looking back at Kabuto saying, "What are you doing?" And Kabuto is backed up against the wall, sweating. And Saitama's all like, huh? Because he's wondering why is Kabuto all the way back there. And Kabuto's thinking, if I had attacked just now, he would have killed me. What's with this guy? He's full of openings. But my instincts are blaring a danger signal at me. And it just shows the simplistic look of Saitama. Like, he looks so unassuming. But the aura he's giving off is just filling Kabuto with absolute fear. And Saitama's all like, huh? Dude, you alright? And then we cut to Kabuto screaming out, you! How did you get such power? And the head honcho and Genos both looking surprised at this. And then Saitama doesn't say anything. And then Saitama then says, so you want to know too, huh? Okay, fine. Genos, you listen up as well. And that is... Was that the end? Was that the end of Punch 10? Yeah, that must have been the end of Punch 10. Onwards to Punch 11, The Secret to Strength. He's going to tell me right here and now? As it shows Genos still kind of bodied and froed with Carnage Kabuto in the background. Is Master going to reveal the secret to his strength? Punch 11, The Secret to Strength. That's dangerous. Shouldn't I stop him? Is it all right to reveal his secret to them? And then Saitama says, listen up. What matters is continuing this hard training regimen. And then the head honcho's thinking, training? Not surgical modifications, genetic manipulation, or a secret drug? And then Kabuto is thinking, what kind of training? Listen up, Genos. You must stick it. You must stick with it no matter how hard. I was able to get this strong in 3 years. And then Saitama just says, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and run 10 kilometers every day. And everyone is just looking on thinking, like, this is it? Then we cut to narration. Also, eat 3 meals a day. Even just a banana will do for breakfast. To train your spirit, never use heat in the winter or air conditioning in the summer. It'll almost kill you early on, and you'll consider taking a day off. But I wanted to be a strong hero, so I persevered every day, even if I vomited blood. Even when I felt so heavy I could barely move, I did squats. Even if my arms made weird popping sounds, I did push-ups. 1 year later, I noticed a change. I was bald, and I'd gotten stronger. In other words, train so hard you lose your hair. That's the only way to get strong. If you're fiddling around with a new humanity and evolution, you'll never make it. Human strength lies in the ability to change yourself. And then the head honcho's thinking, what did he say? Then Kabuto is thinking, is he serious? And then Genos says, Master, you are so full of crap, says Genos. Is that just regular? That is just regular strength training. It is not even that hard. I must become stronger. I didn't come to you for jokes. Your strength is clearly from more than physical training. I want to know what that is. And then Saitama says, Genos, say what you will, but there isn't anything else. And then Kabuto comes in saying, oh, I see how it is. And both Genos and Saitama get silent, and then the head honcho says, Carnage Kabuto? Don't do it. Are you going to fly out of control again? Fine. Don't tell us your secret. You're not stronger than me anyway. And then we see Carnage Kabuto's entire body just bulging and snapping and transforming. Even his eyes. His eyes are getting veiny and bulging out of his head. Now you're making me mad, so I'm gonna kill you little by little. And then it shows Carnage Kabuto completely transforming in a mode called Carnage Mode. Would I sacrifice my hair for a little bit of strength? I mean, hey, I wouldn't mind sacrificing a little bit of hair. If it would mean that my hair never grows taller than this and gets bigger, but I have increased strength because my hair never gets bigger than that, I'd be fine because I prefer shaved or very close shaved haircuts anyway. So if I could get strength by never being able to grow my hair a certain length ever again, sure, I'll take it. I'll take it. But we have Carnage Kabuto going in his Carnage mode. And since he's transformed, I gotta change his voice.
When I'm like this, I lose all reason for a week. My fighting instincts stay on edge. After I kill you, I'll head into town and rampage until next Saturday. If you're a strong hero, then stop me!
And then something clicks for Saitama, as Saitama gets punched directly in the face. And Kabuto punches him into the ground with enough force to crater the ground. And then Kabuto jumps in the air, rebounds off the roof, and hits into Saitama again. And then it has Saitama thinking, no, it can't be. And Genos is just watching thinking, Master? And Kabuto keeps coming back up and hitting Saitama all over the place. And he barrages Saitama with endless punches with him saying, die, 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 die! And then Saitama's thinking, in Carnage mode, he rampages like this for a week? Until next Saturday? That would mean today is Saturday. Which means, as it shows Carnage Kabuto bearing down on Saitama, and then the head honcho's thinking, this is over. No one in this world can stop him. And then Saitama responds to all these hits by screaming, today's bargain day at the supermarket! And just in one punch, completely obliterates the entire upper body of Carnage Kabuto in an instant. He just punches once, and the head comes completely off, and the body of Carnage Kabuto just completely falls over. And the head honcho can only look on in complete dismay. Like, his hair is disheveled, his glasses start falling down, and Genos is just looking on, and then the head honcho just says, I'm done with my experiments. And Saitama's still screaming in the background thinking, I'm missing great deals! And then Genos is coming in saying, Master! But the head honcho says, I'm done with my experiments. I'll change myself instead. And that's the end of Punch 11. You feel Saitama, you can't miss out on a great deal. Hold on, let me bring this thing down so I can, much better. I can read what you're saying a lot better without me having to lean in and look at it. But yeah, you really can't miss out on those great deals. But that was the end of Punch 11. Onwards to Punch 12, the Paradisers. And we have someone screaming out, why do people have to work? Why do you have to pay money to eat? Can't we all just share? Where is freedom in the world? The rich grow fat while the poor die. All are slaves to labor. Is work fun? No, of course not. We refuse to work. I'm Hammerhead. I, Hammerhead, will make a change. Let those who want to work support everyone else. We're going to create a utopia. The group I lead is the Paradisers. And it's just this bald dude with a bunch of other bald dudes right behind him. And he's doing all this chattering, but everyone is kind of glancing at him and just continuing on their way. And one of them says, boss, ain't nobody listening. What? Foolish masses. Let's go. Zeniru is the richest man in town. First, we'll destroy his house so people know how serious we are. Mansions are a symbol of inequality. And then all the rest of them just say, yes, sir. Then we cut to a giant building with one of the goons saying, this whole building is Zeniru's house. And then Hammerhead says, he must have acquired his wealth dishonestly. I will not allow it. All right, destroy it. Yes, sir. And one of them goes up and their arm of their suit inflates, and then he punches into the building, bringing the entire building down. Target demolished! Good. Stealing these new battlesuits from that organization paid off. And then one of the same dude that said that this was Zeniru's house says, "Oops, it was a different building. Sorry, boss. Zeniru's house is further up." And then the Hammerhead just looks at him like, "Really, bruh?" Well, everyone makes mistakes. What's important is learning from them. Am I wrong? No! On to Zeniru's! Stop! And then someone says, "Stop right there, villains!" And they all look back, and it's a dude pulling up on his bike, taking the time to make sure that it's steady and setting it up, with him saying, I am the bicyclist for justice, known as Moomin Rider." And then some other people are saying, "Yay, Moomin Rider's here! We're saved!" And Moomin Rider's all like, as he's preparing to fight. And then Hammerhead says, "A hero? Give me a break." And then Moomin Rider comes in saying, "Here I come!" And then there's a pow, a literal panel that just says pow, and it shows Moomin Rider unconscious and beaten with one punch, apparently, with someone screaming out, "Ah! Call a doctor!" Then we cut to Saitama's place, and he's sleeping, and then he wakes up screaming, "Ah! Don't play rock, paper, scissors with snot on your finger!" Don't play rock, paper, scissors with snot on your finger. That's what he said. And he wakes up and it was just a cold sweat. And then he just says, "Ugh, just a dream." Then he cuts on the news and it says, "Terrorists identifying themselves as the Paradisers continue to terrorize City F. They have seriously injured several heroes, and the situation remains out of control. We have learned that the identity of their leader is Hammerhead, a man with a B-class bounty on his head. He has been responsible for numerous violent incidents. He is a large man, standing 7 feet tall and weighing 462 pounds. You love Moomin Rider? Moomin Rider is the most relatable to pretty much everybody, because he's just a regular dude riding a bike. But he still has the ability to be a hero. He's the most relatable when it comes to strength as well, because ain't nobody gonna be having Genos or Saitama's strength. He is a large man, standing 7 feet tall and weighing 462 pounds. He once fought 20 opponents in a street brawl and sent them all to the hospital. According to a rambling message to the group sent to the TV station, they will continue their onslaught." And Saitama's just, brushing his teeth and just thinking, this is boring. And then the news continues with him saying, until the establishment, they said, they will continue their onslaught until the establishment of a world where not working isn't a crime, and everyone is provided with food and water and shelter. With food, shelter, and clothing. And then Saitama's just gurgling, he's thinking, no need for me to get involved. Those signing with Hammerhead are unemployed youth with no desire to work. All the group's members display shaven heads and exhibit a dangerous attitude. And that immediately gets Saitama's attention. If you encounter men with shaven heads, leave the area immediately. And then Saitama, realizing he fits the description of a man with a shaved head, even though he's, bald completely, he's just sweating in cold sweat, and he says, "What? They're biting my style. I go to all this trouble being a hero, but if they copy me, people will think I'm a villain." And then Saitama, in a nice double panel, and a much more detailed panel, says, "I'm gonna crush those guys." Then it shows like a SWAT vehicle being thrown into the distance, as a whole riot squad is, I guess, dealing with Hammerhead and his crew, with civilians being led out by a crossing guard, with someone saying, "Run! The Baldies are coming! They're totally insane! They're too dangerous!" And then we cut to I guess this is the building of Zeniru, where a servant says, "Mr. Zeniru, you must flee." "Huh. But it wouldn't look good for me to run from terrorists. It wouldn't look good for me to run from terrorists." And then someone on the side of someone sitting in a window in shadow says, "There's no need for that. Lucky for you, this happened during your contract with me."
You're the bodyguard. You, Sonic. It is all right if I leave this to you. I mean, you know who you're up against.
And then in an instant, Sonic is behind Zeniryu and his servant before either one of them. I wonder, is that a mark on my book? I think that's... Yeah, it's just a mark I gotta clean off. Oh, thank God, it's something I can clean off. I was getting worried. I was concerned that there was a permanent mark on my book. But before the servant and Mr. Zeniryu say anything, Sonic is directly behind them. Sorry, I was distracted by that. I felt like this indentation on the front of my book, and I like for my books to be nice and pristine without blemishes. But he's behind them, and they're both surprised with Sonic saying, "Worry about their lives." And both the servant and Zeniryu are both kind of taken aback by Sonic's words. And then Sonic says, "Thanks to their unusual suits, I may not be able to control myself. Disposing of the mountains of bodies will be a bigger problem. The Paradisers, riders in new battlesuits I've never heard of. Hammerhead, a man with a B-class bounty. He looks like he's got backbone." Then it cuts to Hammerhead and his crew walking through the streets, with many of them just tossing up cars every which way. And then one of the dudes, the one that gave him the bad direction, says, "Boss, there it is.
Just past the trees is Zeniru's mansion, aka the golden pile of poop. All right, let's go."
And then they start hearing someone coming up towards them, and Hammerhead notices, and he tells everyone to stop.
"Is someone there?"
And then someone says, "I've been waiting, Hammerhead." And it's Sonic. And he's got his mask over his face, so he's working, and he says, "I work for Zeniryu." And then it just shows Hammerhead smiling. Then there's a whoosh as Sonic lands in front of him with him saying, "I should warn you, I've never let an opponent live, and I don't intend for that to change. I'm a perfectionist in my work. If you give up now, I'll let you live. So what will it be?" And then it cuts to Saitama going through the streets, but people are running away from him because of his bald head and the description that the news gave, with people screaming, "Ah, a terrorist!" And then Saitama's saying, "I'm not a terrorist!" That is the end of Punch 12. Onwards to Punch 13, Speed. Then it shows Hammerhead and his crew rushing towards Sonic, and in an instant, many of the necks of Hammerhead's crew are immediately sliced through. In an instant. And as it shows one of them seeing Sonic launch towards him from up high, we see it from the perspective of Sonic, and as he tries to punch Sonic, his head is sliced in 3 different pieces, and then it just shows numerous heads being cut off completely by Sonic. And Hammerhead is shocked to see all of his men just dying instantly, with him thinking,
"Whoa, what is happening?"
And then it has one guy saying, "Why is everyone suddenly falling?" And as he says suddenly falling, his head falls off of his shoulders directly in front of Hammerhead. And then Hammerhead just thinks, "Oh no." And he immediately puts his hands up just in time to save him from being beheaded by Sonic. And then he gets angry and he just thinks,
"Why you?"
And he smashes into the ground, causing a massive crater to get created from the impact, causing trees to be thrown up and Sonic to be shown up high up in the trees. And it shows all the fallout from this impact as Sonic is just thinking, "What are you doing? Are you trying to intimidate me? I bet you can't even see me." And Hammerhead looks in the direction of where Sonic is and he says,
"There you are!"
and picks up a boulder and throws it at where Sonic is. And then it shows... And then it shows him, I guess, leaping away into the direction of Zenireu's tower, because he leaps from the forest into the top part of Zenireu's tower, and then someone saying, "The poop exploded!" And then it shows Hammerhead. Actually, you know what? No, that was the boulder that did that. It was the boulder he threw that went into the direction of... Was it the boulder that went into the direction of it? I think it was. Yeah, that was a boulder he threw in the direction of Zenireu's tower. Sorry, I had to make sure because the next panels would have contradicted what I just said. But he threw a boulder in the direction of Zenireu's tower and destroyed the poop structure at the top of it. And then it cuts back to Sonic, who's dodging away from these boulders that Hammerhead is throwing at him, with Sonic thinking, he isn't running, but attacking? I guess he isn't as dumb as I thought. And then it shows multiple boulders falling towards where Sonic is, with Sonic dodging all of them. And then it shows Sonic with a crazed smile on his face. Oops, my bad habit came back. You, Zenireu's hired dog! I fight for lofty ideals. I won't lose to a dog like you. And then it shows Sonic thinking, why is he provoking me? And then he looks around him as he notices that the boulders and everything that Hammerhead has been throwing in his direction created a one-way path for Hammerhead to get to him, as if he was trying to cage in Sonic. Oh, I get it. It's easy to see. He is an idiot. He obviously lined up the boulders to lure me in. He practically laid down a road. Ha 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 ha! I've got lots of rocks left. Stop me or I'll keep throwing. You think you can handle my speed if you know which direction I'll come from? Poor you. I accept your challenge. I'll come at you. And it shows Sonic crouching down. I'll come at you head on! And it shows shockwaves of where Sonic actually was, because he's just gone. And Hammerhead notices he's just gone in an absolute instant. Here he comes, and fast. I can't see him. But I don't need to! As it shows Hammerhead dropping the rock he had and then picking up an entire tree, with him thinking, I got him! And he slammed the entire tree, which is the width of the little mini road that he created in order to trap him. And then he slams the entire tree in the path where it looks like he smashed Sonic, where he says, in hell you'll regret the day you ever cross me. And then he's laughing, and he stops, because a kunai just embeds itself in the back of his skull, where he proceeds to just fall forward. And then he's on the phone, and then Sonic is on the phone with him saying, it's over. No, unfortunately, I couldn't control myself. Yes, Hammerhead's body is here. Understood. I'll head right back now. And then he looks as he sees that the body of Hammerhead is gone, with Sonic being surprised, thinking, his body's gone. And then it shows Hammerhead running through the forest with the kunai still in the back of his skull, thinking, that was close. Good thing he hit my head. My skull is many times thicker than normal. I've never lost a fight before. Ah, that creep. I don't know his name, but someday I'm gonna kill that. And then he runs and he sees someone walking in the forest. And who is the person that he runs into but Saitama? Huh? Someone else is here. And it shows Saitama walking through the forest. That's the end of Punch 13, onwards to Punch 14. How many punches were there? Oh, we're almost done. One more punch and then a bonus at the end. Punch 14. I don't know you. Huh? I heard they went this way, but it's hard to find them in this forest. Maybe I'll head home for today. Oh, there's one. And then it shows Saitama running up to Hammerhead, with Hammerhead saying, who are you? You want to join the Paradisers? No. I'm a hero for fun. for personal reasons, I have to beat you guys up. So where are your and before he can say underlings, it shows Hammerhead. Shows Hammerhead punching towards Saitama saying, "Die!" And he punches into Saitama. But Saitama doesn't move at all. There's nothing that shows that he's been impacted, save for his cape being thrown back from the impact. And then Hammerhead just says, "Whew, now it's time to get out of here." And he looks back and he notices that Saitama has not moved. And he starts sweating a little bit. And he starts thinking, "Huh? Didn't I just hit him? Why does he look totally fine?" And then Saitama says, "What a letdown. I expected more from that battlesuit. The design is blah and all it does is increase strength.
I went to a lot of trouble stealing this suit, and an idiot like you doesn't know its value. I've been waiting for a subject to test its full power on."
And then it shows his suit inflating to a bigger size. You know, his muscles in the suit inflating to a bigger size. And he starts spinning his arms going, "Spin attack!" And then Saitama sees it, and he thinks, "I used that move when I was a kid." And he puts his hands up, and he catches both hands of Hammerhead instantly. Like, all the inertia is just immediately lost as soon as his hands stop. It's like he didn't even move his hands at all. And Hammerhead is just thinking, "Huh? No way!" And then Saitama says, "This Hammerhead guy is sort of like me." "What are you?" And then he just goes, "What are you?" Ooh! As it shows Saitama just backhanding into Hammerhead, destroying the entire battlesuit with just one tap. "Wait! I just didn't want to get a job." "Well, quit causing trouble." "Huh? You're not going to kill me?" "Go." "Okay." And it just shows Hammerhead running off into the forest, butt naked with that kunai still sticking in the back of his head. And then it just has Saitama just sighing. Disappointment with society. If I had taken one wrong step, I could have ended up like him. And then someone says, "Where did Hammerhead go?" And Saitama looks over in one direction to see that Sonic is directly behind Saitama. And then Sonic says, "I didn't think any of you guys were left." And Sonic is just looking at Saitama, with Saitama saying, Hammerhead went that way, butt naked." And then it shows a kunai being thrown at Saitama, and Saitama catches it. And then he looks at it and he's like, "What's this?" And then he looks up to see a sword directly in front of his eye, but then Saitama catches his sword and proceeds to snap Sonic's sword directly in front of him. And Sonic is surprised that someone was able to catch his sword, but let alone break it? Yeah, that's shocking to him. And Saitama just says, "Hey, you got me all wrong." And Sonic looks, and they go back and forth with Sonic saying, "Wrong? I'm not a paradiser. You're a bad liar. Come on, give me a break, look at me. With a head like that, you can't deny it." "No, look, it's me! Me! I'm the hero for fun who helps people in trouble." "I don't know you." And that's when it hits Saitama, where he realizes that no one knows who he is. He's not recognizable. And he just gets beside himself and thinks, "Oh, no one knows who I am. Okay." That's his face. That's his face. And then Sonic just says, "Anyway, it doesn't matter, huh? You stopped 2 of my attacks, and that's a problem." And it shows Sonic with this crazed look on his face. Like his eyes and mouth are all colored in black. As if to say, like, he is not too happy about someone actually being able to stop him. "Born in a ninja village, I have honed my moves since I was a child, but you defeated those moves. That is unforgivable." And then Saitama's just standing there like, what is he talking about? "My pride will not forgive you. Whoever you are, you're not getting away." And then it shows Saitama saying, and he's smiling saying, Cut the crap. You just want to test yourself. I can tell from that evil grin on your face. And then it shows Sonic's face where he's all like, I can't wait to test myself out against someone. Like, that's his face. Then it cuts to black. And then it cuts to Hammerhead, who's up against a tree with someone saying, please forgive me. And then it shows Hammerhead getting punched into with someone saying, stealing from the organization and then begging for your life is the height of stupidity. We let you go in order to collect field data on the suit. And then it has this cyborg and another cybernetic-looking individual standing over him with one of them saying, what about the body? And then the other one says, leave it. And it shows that Hammerhead did in fact survive this attack, but he's playing dead in order to stay alive, with him thinking, good thing my skull's so thick. Mom, I'll get a job. And that's the end of Punch 14. Onwards to the last big chapter. Wow, I did this in record time. It's not as long as the last one, but onwards to the last chapter and then the bonus chapter, and that will be today's reading of One Punch Man. Punch 15, fun and work. And then it shows Sonic going at Sonic speeds, rebounding repeatedly between the trees as he prepares to attack Saitama. With him saying, so, can you see me? Can you keep up with my speed? And then Saitama is like, come on, can I go now? And the thing is, Sonic thinks that he's faster than Saitama, but Saitama is able to keep up with him effortlessly because he moves his head directly in the path of where Sonic is about to be, and this shocks Sonic to the point where he's trying to do a spin kick where he thinks, this guy, wind blade kick, as it shows him preparing to kick down on Saitama. Saitama puts his fist up, but unfortunately, the path of where Saitama's fist is right where Sonic's groin is, with him saying checkmate, and with Saitama not realizing that his fist is in that direction. And as he hits that spot, Saitama just says, oops, sorry. That wasn't on purpose. I meant to stop, but accidentally made contact. And it shows that Sonic has definitely felt that attack. And then it cuts to a window, and then it cuts to a panel where it says, please wait a moment. Like the manga is saying, please wait a moment, as we allow Sonic to recuperate himself. And then it cuts to Sonic saying, I am an amazing ninja who contracts for everything from assassinations to serving as a bodyguard. I am speed of sound Sonic, but I will postpone work for a while. Having found a worthy opponent in you, I must focus on training. What is your name? It's Saitama. Saitama, next time we meet, you're a goner. I speed of sound Sonic will destroy you with the ultimate ninja arts. And it shows him shaking and trembling from, having his family jewels forcibly rustled around. And then it just has Saitama saying, fine, good luck. And then it cuts to Genos, with Genos saying, speed of sound Sonic? What a redundantly repetitive name. Who is he? And Saitama says, I don't know, he just showed up, declared his rivalry, and left. If he is bothering you, I can extinguish him. You're bothering me too. Why are you here again anyway? Leave, this has nothing to do with you. But master, I must get stronger to... shut up, will ya? I'm in shock over a serious problem. So get out of here, please. A serious problem? What could bother someone as great as you? Tell me. And then Saitama's silent, and he just says, no one knows who I am. It's been 3 years since I became a hero for fun. I've defeated countless superhumans, subterranean monsters, terrorists, and evil militant organizations. I've never seen another hero do as much as me. Everyone should know about me by now. I should have fans. It's weird that I have to live such a meager existence in this ghost town. Do you know what Sonic said to me? I don't know you. And the townspeople thought I was a terrorist. When villains appeared, I thrashed them, but no one remembers. And then it cuts to Genos thinking about what he saw in the news, including Moomin Rider, who's back up, but his arm is in a cast. Gotta love Moomin Rider. With Genos thinking, the morning news did not mention the role of Master Saitama or Speed of Sound Sonic in defeating the Paradisers. They said it was due to the Moomin Rider. And then Genos says, no way. You said you're a hero for fun. Master! Aren't you listed in the hero registry? And then we have a little bit of info about the hero registry. The hero registry lists the name of heroes who have taken physical strength and justice tests at Hero Association facilities around the country, met certain standards, and received permission to name themselves official heroes. Those recognized by the association as professional heroes may receive funds out of money donated to the association through its fundraising efforts. Heroes listed in the hero registry may also appear in ability and popularity rankings. The world pays a great deal of attention to those heroes, and many of them have fan clubs. Note, what the world refers to as heroes are those professional heroes listed in the registry. Any unlisted individual claiming to be a hero, no matter how active, is viewed askance? Is that, what type of word is that? I have never seen that word before. ASKANCE. Hold on. This is a new word. How have I never discovered this word before? I have never seen this word. Google Translate, please. Askance. That's how it... Oh, okay, so that's how you say it. How have I never seen that word before in my life? I'm 30. How have I never seen that word? Maybe it's because I never started this series. But any unlisted individual claiming to be a hero, no matter how active, is viewed askance and considered nothing more than a pervy freak who spouts irresponsible nonsense. Then it cuts to Saitama, with him saying, I didn't know. And then Genos saying, professional heroes first appeared 3 years ago, when a villain attacked the Tycoon Agoni's grandchild. A passerby offered help. When he heard about it, he devised the system and used his personal wealth to establish the Hero Association. And the Agoni guy is the same guy whose grandchild happens to be the kid with the weird cleft butt chin. And then Saitama says, are you registered? No, I'm not interested. Let's get registered. If you go register with me, I'll make you my student. And then Genos immediately says, let's do it. And that is the end of Punch 15, onwards to the bonus manga, and that will be the end of volume 2 for One Punch Man for this week. Bonus manga, Brushing Up.
Oh my, you saved me, thank you.
Monsters even attack candy stores these days. Good thing I was passing by, ma'am.
Wait right there, let me reward you.
No, that isn't necessary.
Oh, shush, it's fine. Let me repay you.
Well, if you insist, I am low on money.
Here, a year's worth of assorted candy.
Ah, I don't need that. Thank you, ma'am. And then apparently this is apparently Saitama when he still had hair. I've defeated over 10 monsters since becoming a hero for fun. I don't do it for appreciation. Thank you? I guess this isn't entirely unproductive, but it does. And then someone in the background is thinking, thank you? But then Saitama's thinking, I guess it isn't entirely unproductive, but it does help me know when I've helped someone. The happiness and excitement I feel at those times provides motivation for my next fight, but I can't make a living this way, so I push my body to the limit every day. And it has him counting 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Day 300 of training. And then there's a pang inside of his body, and his body is hurting all over as he drops to the ground. And then he starts huffing and puffing, and he forces himself back up, where he starts going on his run, and he starts running. And as he's running, his speed starts to actually increase. Like, he starts to move at high speeds, but he's not noticing it. And then we get narration. I've been training for 300 days. In response to the repetitive movement, my body's abilities have really taken off. And it shows Saitama running past a kid walking a dog as the kid starts to walk in front of, not Truck-kun, but Car-kun. And then we see footsteps embedded in the pavement as Saitama grabs the kid and dog and using the car as a springboard jumps off the car, but winds up destroying the car in an instant. He winds up totaling the car from the impact of him jumping on the hood. Think of the agent in The Matrix Reloaded when he jumped onto the car during the freeway chase. That's exactly what Saitama did to this car. With Saitama saying, "Look before crossing the street," with the kid saying, "Thanks. I am now able to move just like a hero should." But, and then his heart keeps hurting, and there's a pain inside of his body, with him thinking, that pain again. I'm feeling it more frequently. Have I pushed myself too far? And then it cuts to, because he's still out, and then his heart is pounding and the pain inside of his chest is hurting even more. Then someone screams,
Someone help! A monster! Everybody run!
Grr, I'm so strong! Look how fast my fists are!
and then it shows the guy shows this one dude punching into a car and just utterly destroying it. And this happens to be the same car that Saitama jumped on top of to save the kid. As the owners of the car just looks on in utter shock as this car is just completely destroyed. This is the wrong time. Can I do this? And then the guy starts talking. Shadowboxing, the string dangling from an overhead light made me super... Wow. Shadowboxing, the string dangling from an overhead light made me superhuman. I'm threat level god. Cars and buildings aren't enough. Threat level tiger. Incarnation of electric light string. This dude got this massive from shadowboxing the string dangling from an overhead light. The way people get power in this game. And it shows Saitama jumping up towards incarnation of electric light string. He calls himself, I'm threat level god, but his actual threat level is tiger, so he's not really all that threatening. But Saitama launches at him, but he gets punched in the face instead. No way! And Saitama gets punched through both a truck and into a wall. My body! This is no time for crying. My limits! I must surpass my limits! And before he can even finish this thought, the incarnation of electric light string of electric... Wait, what is his name again? I'm sorry. Incarnation of electric light string comes in and punches directly into him. And it shows Saitama hitting the ground thinking, well, so much for that cavity. And then it shows Saitama getting up, and the incarnation of light string, electric light string says, come on, hit me harder! And then it shows that Saitama's face and body have changed. This was the moment where Saitama reached the height of his strength, because his face gets simplistic looking, and he gleams at the guy, and then proceeds to punch the guy so hard he punches a hole straight through his face. And then it cuts to the end of this chapter and the end of this volume with the narration of, if you don't brush up, you quickly rot. And that is the end, ladies and gentlemen, of One Punch Man Volume 2. That's it. That's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. I managed to get this done in 1 hour and 4 minutes, which was a lot better than what I did last week, I believe. I think I got it done. I think the last one I did took a little bit longer, or I don't think it did. I might be thinking of my Jujutsu Kaisen read-through, but managed to get through Volume 2 in a record time, and I have to say, I'm looking forward to continuing this series next week. Join me tomorrow as we go into Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1, and thus start the grand adventure of Yuji Itadori and his path of joining the Jujutsu High School. and what all of Jujutsu Kaisen has to offer. All I know is I'm excited to read it, and I'm happy because my package came in for my Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 7 issue. My Volume 8 and 9 came in earlier this week. Earlier this week, and I have them sitting over there on my shelf. But now that I have Volume 7, I have all volumes of Jujutsu Kaisen, which means that I am fully prepared to read through both One Punch Man and Jujutsu for you guys. I am so excited! Let's go ahead and get it! At the end of the day, all I can really say is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next read-through. And if you're new to the channel, and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing or even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Oh boy, you guys don't even know. Well, you guys do know, but I love doing these. I really do. I love doing these. I love reading to you guys in between playing games and stuff, but I really love reading. I really love reading for you guys. All right, later.